What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Team Fish Knuckles YouTube channel. Today is a League Cup, and this is Hendersonville League Cup. There we go. For those who don't know, there was a back-to-back League Cup in the Nashville area, one in Hendersonville and one in Madison. And on our left, we have Vlad, who is from the Memphis area. And on the right, we have Zachary. I'm not 100% sure where Zachary is playing, but I'm excited to see game number one, round number one of this Hendersonville League Cup. Now, it is best 2 out of 3, 50 minutes, and we see Zach does start with an Oddish. Now, right now, Decidueye Vileplume is one of the most hyped decks, and we're going to see a Love Ball. And what kind of Vileplume deck is he playing? Is he playing the Decidueye version? Is he playing a Jolteon Vaporeon, not Vaporeon, a Glaceon version? There's a lot of different things you can do with Vileplume nowadays, and there's an Oddish going to his hand. And on left, we see Vlad playing a Darkrai Dragons deck. Now, Vlad has played this deck a lot during the year. Has mastered it pretty well, and has stuck with it all throughout the year. So we see a Gloom, Oddish, Trainer's Mail. Look at top 4 cards of his deck. Not going to find anything with the Trainer's Mail. Now, what Zach wants to do is get down, a Vileplume turn 1, as well as an attacker. If he could do this, he can shut down Vlad's Max Elixirs, Trainer's Mails, all that good stuff that Darkrai really needs to power up. And let's see, what is Zach going to do here? We see a Trainer's Mail again. Look at top cards of his deck, and does he find a card he can use with it? And he does find an Ultra Ball. Now, this Ultra Ball can get him a, there's a Lurantis GX being discarded. So we see that Zach is actually playing a Lurantis Vileplume version. This is one of the decks that people were hyping up when Sun and Moon came out, and that was Lurantis Vileplume. Decidueye Vileplume wasn't very popular until John Kettler decided to play it for regionals. So we will see a Lurantis version of this Vileplume deck. So we're going to see Shaman set up for 5 new cards. And I did see Zach's hand. It does have a Sycamore in it. And does Zach find a Flowstone, a Fomantis? We see an Acrobike. Okay, look at the top 2 cards of his deck. And I do see a Fomantis in his hand. The other card must be somewhat decent because he doesn't want to discard it immediately, so I wonder what that one card is. Now, what he could do is discard the Fomantis and then play Revitalizer, get both back into his hand, and easily get it back out, both the Lurantis and it. And there we see he discards the Vileplume. Alright, so he did have the option of Vileplume, but if he Vileplumes, well, he really can't do too much. He doesn't have a Pokemon to attack with, nothing else really, and we see another Trainer's Mail not hit anything. Now, both of these Trainer's Mail that he whiffed could have something in there, and he just didn't want to play it or hold on to it because he has a Sycamore in hand. I do see an Oddish in his hand right now, and let's see what else is going to come down for Zach's side of the field. Right now it's just a Fomantis just sitting there and just chilling, deciding what to do with this hand. We will see an Ultra Ball discarding Oddish and an Oddish. Now this could grab a Lurantis GX. That is also a possibility. I mean, that's what you might want to grab here, just so you can have an attack or whatever. Use Flower Supply next turn, maybe Solar Blade, and I don't know, I didn't see what card that was. It was really quick. But we'll see a shuffle, and let's see. Zach's turn is, these Vileplume decks, they do take a good minute, and there's a Shaman sitting up for 5 new cards. Now, he could have went for Lurantis automatically. We do see a Grass Energy, and I do see an N as well in his hand. Now, he needs to find a Revitalizer and a Flowstone. If he can find both of these, he's good to go. There's a Grass Energy going to active. We will retreat into the Fomantis, okay. Does he have a Revitalizer? There's a Vileplume and an N, so he is going to end both players to 6 new cards. Now, I'm not 100% a fan of this. Yes, you get Vileplume out, you're good to go. But if you don't find a Lurantis, in 2 turns, this Darkrai will knock you out. I think Fomantis has 6 HP. If it has 70, then it will take Vlad 3 turns to knock it out. But let's find out what's going to happen here. We see Vlad does have Paralyticity, which can shut down Lurantis GX just a little bit, make where he does less damage. And does Zach find? And no, he's not going to find anything. On Vlad's turn, he has a Dark Energy. He can attach that to the active. And he has a, looks like maybe, okay, Parallel City. Going to put his opponent down to Looks like maybe he gave him. I can't even remember which side is which. That's my fault. But we see Sycamore discard his hand, drawn 7 new cards. All Vlad realistically needs to find is a Dark Energy for next turn, and he can start attacking with Darkrai. We'll see Vlad most likely pass. He can't play that Lysander. He can't play Dark Energies. And on his Zach's turn, does he find a Lurantis GX Ice? We see Forest of Giant Plants coming down to the field immediately, getting rid of that Parallel City. Alrighty. Now, he does have a Grass Energy. He can attach it to the active retreat, and there's a Sceptile come down. So he is playing this, at least he can retreat to Sceptile this turn if he wants to. We'll see a Grass Energy going to the active. Okay. And does Zach have a supporter card? A Lysander would be great to get that Guillotine stuck in the Axe spot. And no, we're just going to see a pass, and we see a Silent Lab come down from Vlad, put a Dark Energy in the active, and we'll see Darkrai swing this turn. But there's a Lysander bringing up that Vileplume. And Vileplume does have 130 HP, but right now we'll see a Dark Pulse for 60 damage. It does 20, then 20 more damage for each Dark Energy on your side of the field, which Vlad does have too. We see a Grass Energy going out to Fomantis. We see another Fomantis coming down. And we see an N from Zach, giving both players a new hand of 6. Now, since Vlad does play Dragon Pokemon, he does have the option to play down Double Dragon's own Giratina. This gives him the option of basically having 2 Darks attachments per turn when he finds that Double Dragon, which is fantastic. Is kind of scoops a turn. You can do plus 40 every single turn, which is fantastic. And does Zach find a Lurantis GX? That is the big $1 million question. We've seen the Force of Giant Plants hitting the field. Okay. And we might just see a pass on the Vlad. Yeah, we see a pass on the Vlad's turn. Vlad does have a Dark Energy, which will allow him to knock out this Vileplume. He could put the Dark Energy on the Yveltal or the Giratina. The Yveltal is probably the better play, because you want to save the Double Dragons for your Giratina. And we will see Vlad to take a knockout, but this opens up the option for Zach to start using his item cards. We see Vlad does have a Lysander. He could bring up the Fermento with 2 energies and knock it out. He's saying, hey, you're not going to be able to attack here for a little while. And nope, going instead, just knock out the Vileplume, going down to 5 price cards. Alright, so on Zach's turn, going to promote that Fomantis. He does have access to all of his trainer cards now, since Vileplume is no longer played with the Irritating Pollen. We see Grass Energy, Lurantis GX coming down to the field, and it'd be interesting to see what Zach decides to do. He can go for Solar Blade, 120, heal 30. Could Course Life. Doesn't take a knockout, only do 150 damage, because it does 50 damage times the amount of Grass Energy attached to this Pokemon. Or we can see Flower Supply for 40, and we are just going to see a Flower Supply. Zach, oh no, not Flower Supply, a Solar Blade for 120. But right now, Vlad is doing 20, 40, 60, 80. We see 2 Darkrai's hitting the field, and how many Max Elixirs and Double Dragons can Vlad get out this turn? If let's say 20, 40, 60, 80. He's doing 80 right now. He needs to do 210. Oh man, that's... Oh man, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You have pretty much no way you can take a knockout. So we will see an Ultra Ball discarding a Dark and a Sycamore. Alrighty. And what Vlad could do here is maybe Lysander or Shaman and take a knock on it. But would Vlad rather do that or damage the Lurantis even more? I wonder what he'll decide to do. He also has that Escape Rope in his hand. If he finds the Escape Rope, he can switch out of the active to one of his bench Darkrai's. If he finds a Max Elixir, looks like he is going to Ultra Ball for nothing, which it could mean he doesn't have any, doesn't have any Shamans in his deck, or maybe he has one in hand and he's just opting not to get anything, just within his deck out before he puts down the Shaman. We'll see what Vlad does here. Does he have a Sycamore? I mean, he discarded Sycamore, so you got to think he has another supporter card in his hand right now. We do see a Lysander that could come out and play. Does he knock out a Shaman, or does he damage this? We do see a Shaman for 5 new cards, and we see double Max Elixir, a Shaman, a third Max Elixir, and a Dark Energy. Alrighty, so time to see, can Vlad hit all these Max Elixirs? First Max Elixir, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and we do see a whiff Now we did see Vlad have a double dragon, and a lot of the darker decks have gone to straight dark instead of using dragons for that reason. You don't hit double dragons with your max elixirs, you have a better probability of hitting straight darks, and we'll see another max elixir. Little does Zach know, Vlad has 6 of those in his hand, and we see another dark go in his hand, we see another double dragon, and we'll see a dark go into that bench Darkrai. Okay, so right now Vlad is doing 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120, okay. If he hits another max, he can do 140, and that's actually, it's actually a pretty good number because he can use Solar Blade to heal 30, and then Vlad could potentially take another knockout or knock out the Lurantis. So we see a third max elixir, and Vlad is going to whiff it. He is 1 for 3 right now with his max elixirs, and now Vlad is in an interesting situation. Does he retreat to Yveltal and Oblivion to save his Darkrai from being knocked out? I mean, you get energies in the field, but then Lurantis just heal the damage off, so that doesn't work too much. He does have a Lysander, so he could bring up the Sceptile and 2-shot it. That is a possibility as well. Or you just swing into the Lurantis. Vlad's going to look through his opponent's discard pile, just see what he's all played so far. I mean, Zach really hasn't done too much. Just kind of sat there and, you know, got a Vileplume out turn 1, but outside of that, hasn't really done anything else. Vlad's going to see what does he want to do here, and we will see a Dark Pulse for 120. Alrighty, so on to Zach's turn, he can Solar Blade for the knockout. Okay, we see a Garashner going to the Lurantis. For Mantis, sorry, the bench for Mantis. We see an Ultra Ball, going to discard a Lysander and a Revitalizer, so he does play Revitalizer, and he just discarded that. Now, this could be because his other card in his hand is like a Sycamore. We do see an Inn, and this Inn is actually great for Vlad. Vlad did not have a supporter card outside of that Lysander, so Zach has gave Vlad a new chance of life. So to say 20, 40, 60, 80, I mean, it would be kind of hard for Vlad to take a knockout with the hand he just had last turn. And we see Vlad has a Fighting Fear Belt, a Dark Energy, a Hex Maniac, and we will see a knockout, healing 30 damage, bringing that Lurantis down to 90, which now it has 110 HP left. If it does have, no, 120 HP left, yeah, 120 HP left. So right now Vlad's doing 20, 40, 60, 80. He can do 100 with that Dark Energy, but that is not enough. He needs a Fury Belt and a waited like another max elixir. We could see maybe a double dragon, and there we see a VS Seeker going to Vlad's hand. Now what Vlad could do is put a Dark Energy in the bench Darkrai. He can Oblivion doing 30, and that way he can get enough energies on the field, and then next turn knock out the Lurantis. Doesn't matter if he heals it, you can still do the same amount. We see a Fighting Spirit going to the active Yveltal. We see a Dark Energy to the bench Darkrai, and we could see a VS Seeker for Sycamore. Just to draw more cards, maybe. He could grab a Lysander if he wants to. And it'll be interesting to see what Vlad decides to do with his VS Seeker. He does have a Hex Maniac, which doesn't really do too much. I mean, you can Hex and shut down like maybe Shaman's next turn. I think if you want to hold the Hex, you definitely want to wait till he gets another Vileplume down, and we'll see another, see Oblivion for 40 damage. Alright, so 130 on Zach's turn. He gets an Energy onto that bench, Lurantis GX, okay. And right now, Zach is up 4 to 5 price cards, but I mean, it's anybody's game. Basically, Vlad is slowly starting to build energies on this field, and we will see a Solar Blade doing 120. Now the Vlad's turn, he can attach another Darkrai to the Giratina, most likely, and then Oblivion again for another 40. And then all of a sudden, Vlad has a ton of energies on the field, and we will see an Escape Rope. Now we know Vlad has a Lysander, so Vlad's going to Escape Rope, then Lysander that Lurantis GX back into the active spot, and swing for 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120, 140, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, yeah, 140 damage to knock out this Lurantis. And all Vlad has to do next turn is find another VS Seeker to knock out a Shaman, and you can see Vlad bringing that Lysander up into his hand. He does have a VS Seeker in his hand, so we'll see VS Seeker for Lysander. Bring up that hurt Lurantis GX, okay? And we'll see a Dark Pulse for the knockout, going down to 3 price cards. Now, since Vlad did knock out a Vileplume, he has to find a way to knock out 2 more EXs, or a non-EX plus a Shaman, or another EX, obviously. So we see a Garashner goes deactive. We can see another Soul Blade for 120. Once again, Chlorocyte does not take a knockout right now and only do 150 damage, which is very unfortunate for Zach. Alright, so we'll see 120 damage on a Vlad's turn. He gets another Dark Energy. Does he have another Lice in her hand? If he does, he could bring up a Shaman. He can also just hurt this active. And we see Salamis getting a Dark Energy with the Beastly Fang doing 10 plus 50. And we'll see an Escape Rope. Gonna send it to Sceptile. Vlad doesn't have enough automatically to take a knockout. He's only doing 160. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, he only does 160, which does not knock out the Sceptile. But it gives you the option to two-shot this Sceptile. Now, Sceptile only has one retreat cost, so it's not too hard to retreat it. We will see the other Darkrai come into the active spot, and we'll see it end, giving both players new hands. Vlad will get 3. Now, Vlad has played 3 Max Elixirs already. Can he find his 4th one and hit it energy? Remember, right now he's 1 for 3 on his Max Elixirs, which is very unfortunate, but it does happen, especially when you run double dragons in your deck. So we'll see both players going to get some new cards here, and can Vlad find a way to knock out this guy? There's a Trainer's Mail. Look at top 4 cards of his deck: Double Dragon, Fury Belt, and a Max Elixir, and he will go for the Fury Belt. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That is 170 damage, which will now knock out this Sceptile EX. So there we go, Vlad finding a way to knock out the Sceptile. And we'll see Vlad going down to 1 prize card, hitting the magic number of 170 thanks to Fury Belt. And the pressure's own Zach. He has to find a grass to the active and then go for Chlorocyte. But even then, that's not enough now because of the Fighting Fury Belt. It will be 20 damage short. Oh man, so we see a Life Center, bring it to the Darkrai with the 2 energies, and we'll see a knockout. But if Vlad has a Life Center, he could bring it to Bench Shaman and take a knockout. Let's see what Vlad decides to do here. He does have the option to send in whoever he wants to. Right now, Vlad's doing 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120, 130. We'll see the Darkrai come up. Does Vlad? He does have a Life Center in his hand like I thought he did. And we'll see the Shaman come up, and we'll see another Dark Pulse for the knockout. So, that game was a little bit exciting. You know, Zach, he got the turn on Vileplume. But when he got the turn on Vileplume, he didn't have another attacker. You saw he does play Revitalizer. And like I said earlier game, he probably should have held off and getting that Vileplume so quickly. With these Vileplume decks, you want to set up your attacker first and then go for Vileplume, especially with these new GX Pokemon. I mean, Lurantis has 210 HP, Decidueye has 240. There's no way they're going to knock it out turn 1 unless they're Mega Rayquaza. Now, if they're Mega Rayquaza, then yeah, you probably want to go for a turn Vileplume and hope to find one of your non-evolution Pokemon. Like in Zach's case, he has Sceptile, so against Mega Rayquaza, he can get maybe a Sceptile in the active, get down Vileplume, and then slowly build up Decidueye. So that's the key thing about playing Vileplume decks. And guys, we're going to shuffle up, going to game number 2, and we're going to see what happens. Do you want to see this new, Lurantis GX Vileplume deck that is brand new from the Sun and Moon, or do you want to see good old Darkrai take another victory? I know everybody loves Darkrai, especially with the new Darkrai coming out in the set, 2 sets or something. A lot of people are excited for that. But both players are going to get a good shuffle, and we're going to see what happens in game number 2. Will Vlad go 2-0? This is best 2 out of 3. Whoever loses the game gets decided they want to go first or second. I'd imagine Zach wants to go first. He wants to get down the turn of Vileplume, get set up, get a bunch of Pokemon on the field, and be good to go. So here we go, Blue Players. Going to get 7 new cards into their hand, and we're going to have another game number 2. And we're going to have a long week ahead of us, guys. There's a ton of videos going to be showcase, video shown and deck showcase. As you see, we're showing a deck that really a lot of people haven't seen, and that is this Lurantis Vileplume deck. And here we go, guys. There's the handshake on a game number 2, and let's see what's going to happen. Zach does start with the Sceptile, which is a little good, as Lurantis cannot be knocked out in the act spot. Sceptile can't be knocked out like Lurantis can, or Fomantis, sorry. So I'm just all over the place. So we'll see Grass in the active. We'll see a Forest of Giant Plants and a Trainer's Mail. Look at the top 4 cards of his deck. And he's not going to grab anything. Once again, this could mean he didn't find a supporter card or anything in his top 4 cards he wants to grab. Maybe he has a Sycamore, wants to save some stuff, and that way he didn't discard it. Okay, let's see what he does. All right, All right, so we see an Oddish and a Shaman setting up for 5. I think it's 5. Yep, there we go. So Zach's gonna find a Fomantis coming down, and now he has 2 Oddish in the field. I don't ever like getting out to two Odysseus. I know this is a different deck. I know I play, Decidueye Vileplume a lot. Usually, you only need the one plume. But in Zach's case, he does want to get down to Oddish. I guess if Zach has a crazy turn one, not Zach, if Vlad has a crazy turn one, and since I was to knock out a Gloom or something, then he has one later on, which is not a bad idea either. So we'll see both players get 6 new cards. Can Zach find a Gloom and a Vileplume? We see Vlad. He has a bunch of item cards in his hand. He's got a VS Seeker, a Lysander in Sycamore. I think that's an Ultra Ball. So a bunch of stuff for Zach for Vlad to work with. Hey, we see an Acrobat from Zach. Going to discard a Grass Energy, Love Ball for maybe a Gloom. And does he get this turn 1 Vileplume again? And yeah, gonna grab the Gloom. Okay. And does Zach have this turn 1 of Vileplume again? There's an Ultra Ball, and he is once again going to go for this turn 1 Vileplume. So we see an Oddish being discarded. Okay, so 3 Oddish just turn 1. Wow. All right, so let's see. We see a Vileplume going down onto the field, and we'll see a turn 1 Vileplume coming down in a pass on a Vlad's turn. Now, Vlad has a Sycamore. He can play that. He has a Lysander as well, which he could Lysander up the Vileplume, get it stuck in the X spot if he wants to go the route, and that's what we're going to see. We're going to see Vileplume get stuck in the X spot again, and on a Zach's turn, he's in a little bit of trouble. We see Grass Energy going down to Fomantis, and we see it in shuffle both players' hand and get 6 of cards. Now, Vlad is fine with this. He did have a Sycamore, but he did not have a Dark Energy. And if he could draw, another Dark Energy, a Darkrai, and then play a supporter card, well, then he's good to go. Alright, so we'll see both players get 6 new cards. Does Zach find a Lurantis GX or not this turn? Does he play Olympia, maybe get the active out of the way? And we do see a Lurantis GX coming down. And we'll see a pass on the Vlad's turn. Alright, so Vlad top decks a double dragon, and he has a dark in hand. Okay, gonna put the dark on the Darkrai. And he does have a parallel city. And which way will Vlad put it? Will he make it? He can either put Zach down to 3 and make Zach discard like a Shaman or Oddish. And except, okay, so he's gonna put Zach down to 3, and Zach is he's trying to, I think, yeah, discarding the Shaman is definitely the best option. Now, Vlad could have made it where his side is down to 3, but maybe he wants to save his hand for something. We do see Sycamore coming to his hand, and we'll see Sycamore discarding, 2 Double Dragon, Ultra Ball, looks like maybe a Super Rod, VS Seeker, and a Trainer's Mail, as I think is what we saw there. Okay. No, that was a Maxos. It was definitely not a Maxos. I don't think Vlad plays Super Rod in his deck. Alright, so we see Vlad. He's got a bunch of stuff, but does not have Dark Energy. On a Zach's turn, gonna put a Grass Energy on the bench, Lurantis GX. Okay. We'll see a Forest of Giant Plants coming into play. And he does have an end. We'll see an end. Both players will get new hands of 6. Alrighty. And let's see. What does Zach find here? Does he find... if Zach can find a Gloom and a Vileplume and have 2 Vileplumes out, that'd be really cool. Maybe another Fomantis or Lurantis, that'd be really nice. Have another attacker ready to go. He needs to take advantage of this Forest of Giant Plants. Sits out on the field. Now, see Vlad, he just drew into 3 Dark Energies and a Baby Evital. And we'll probably see a pass from Zach. Alright, so on a Vlad's turn, he has a Guillotine in hand. We'll see a Dark Energy active. And I think you don't bench anything right here. I think you just Dark Pulse for 60, just in case Zach pulls a Lysander play. So 66 damage, and on a Zach's turn, gonna draw into a Grass Energy. Gonna put the Lurantis. Okay. See a pass on a Vlad's turn. Okay. Now Vlad does have an Evital and a Dark Energy. This gives him the option to knock out this Vileplume. But Vlad, it has to be a little bit scared. If he takes a knockout here, that Lurantis could Chloroslide for 200 damage if Zach finds another Grass Energy. And if he finds a Revitalizer, well, he gets another Vileplume play. So, let's see, what does Vlad do here? Does he take a knockout? Does he sit here and wait until he finds more dark Pokemon attached to it, and we'll see a pass on, and that's a smart play by Vlad. He could have taken a knock on the Vileplume, but he's going to sit there and wait, try to find another attacker. He does have a Guillotine in the hand. He can put that down, attach another Dark Energy to it, okay? And Vlad does have another Shaman in hand. He can play that and set up for 2 new Pokemon, so 1 and 2. There's a 3, sorry. There's a Double Dragon, okay? Now, if you're Vlad, I think you pass again. I don't think you attack this Vileplume because you put yourself in a problem. Like I said, if he takes a knockout, Zach can, energy, Chlorocyte, plus Revitalizer for a new Vileplume. You see Zach does have a billion cards in his hand. He can most likely pull that off. We see a Fomantis coming down. We see a Lurantis GX coming down. And do we see a pass? Yep, pass on a Vlad's turn. Okay. And there's a Hex Maniac for Vlad. Now he can Hex, shut down Vileplume, use a bunch of supporter cards, but then you have to worry about your opponent finding a Float Stone. If Zach finds a Float Stone, he can then free retreat that Vileplume and have the unlock. And then if Zach has a Grass Energy, he can use Chorus Life for 200 damage, knocking out this Darkrai. So there's a lot of different things going on right here. And we'll see a Double Dragon be attached to that Giratina. Okay. And does he play Hex Maniac? If he plays Hex Maniac, I think you have to take a knockout on this Vileplume. And there's no way you don't. And we'll see a Hex, okay? So all abilities are shut off, most notably the Irritating Pollen. We'll see a Trainer's Mail. Now, he could grab this Fighting Fear Belt, which is exactly what's he going to do. He's going to Fear Belt the active, and now if he takes a knockout, Chlorocyte would not knock him out anymore. It'll only do 200 damage. So if Zach had a Grass Energy in his hand just waiting to play it, it kind of backfired because now this Darkrai has a Fighting Fear Belt. He can't knock it out anymore. He needs 5 energies to knock it out. And we see an EXP share going down to the Darkrai, the Giratina. We see double VS Seeker grabbing a Life Cinder and a Sycamore. And we'll see Dark Pulse right now is doing 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120, 140, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 70. Yeah, 140 damage because 2 on the active plus Darkrai is 3, Double Dragon, 4, 5, and then 6 and 7. So on to Zach's turn, he does, he can Chorus Life for 150, but what does that get him? He did Hex and never seen Acrobite. Look at the top 2 cards of his deck. It looks like he found a Grass Energy, but I think it might be too late. And then he does discard the Grass Energy, okay. Let's see what else he decides to do here. Now, if he really wanted to, he can Life Cinder up the Giratina, attach a Grass Energy, and take a knockout that way and get 3 energies off the field. But you still got to be scared of this Darkrai. I think Zach has to find another Vileplume this turn. He needs to get another Vileplume on the field. If he does this, then you can shut down Vlad's, max solution, all that kind of good stuff. Okay. Let's see. We do see a Revitalizer in Zach's hand. He can get down Vileplume right now, and do we see a Vileplume immediately come down? That is $1 million question. Alright, it looks like we are going to see the Vileplume hit the field, Oddish and a Vileplume, but we know Vlad has a Life Cinder in hand, so you could just Life Cinder this Vileplume and take a knockout this turn, and then he's down 4 price cards. Then Zach can take a knock on the Darkrai, but what will Zach do here? Does he go for Flower Supply, or does he go for, he is going to go for a Solar Blade. Alright, so we see on the Vlad's turn, he has another Max Elixir where he can't use that. He has a Life Cinder, he can bring up the Vileplume, like I said. What does it go? The Hex Maniac is not a play anymore. I know it's on the field, but it's not a play. Do not worry. We'll see a Dark Energy going to Shaman. Okay. And does he put Life Cinder? Going to Life Cinder, bring up the Lurantis with no energies and get it stuck in the active spot, which is actually a really cool play. It does have a 2 retreat cost. So right now he's doing Dark Pulse with 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120, 140, 160. And this way he get 2-shot this Lurantis. Maybe find another Pokemon and maybe another Darkrai. Get that powered up. 6, 12, 18. No, that's way too much. Alright, there we go. There we go, Vlad's. Alright, there we go. So, what's 70? Because the Fear Belt, I do apologize for that. So, on Zach's turn, he finds a Grass Energy. Now, I think with this Grass Energy, you put it on the active. I think that's what you do here. And you Flower Supply, trying to find another Fomantis. He does have a Life Cinder. What can he Life Cinder? Maybe the Shaman, but that's pretty much it. So on to Vlad's turn, he has it in, and Vlad needs to find another Darkrai. That is, okay, we see second one, that's fine, either one. He needs to find another Darkrai with a Dark Energy. If he could do this, he can secure another attacker next turn. And we find a Darkrai, we find a Dark Energy, and that's what he's wanted. Now he can take a knockout, going down to 3 price cards, and start, looking forward to winning this game. So we'll see, I think he's doing he did 170, so he's doing 190 right now, which will knock out the active. Yep, and that's what we'll see, 190, going down to 3 price cards, and he does find another Dark Energy. which allows him to attack this Lurantis. Now, what Vlad has to worry about is that this Lurantis can Soul Blade for the knockout, and then likes to knock out Darkrai with Chloroscythe, and that is a little bit scary because it does one-shot that Darkrai on the bench because it has 4 energy active. But can Zach find another for Mantis? Zach has to take 6 prize cards. That's another thing as well. So we see a Lysander bringing up the Giratina actually, and we'll see a Chloroscythe for the knockout. All right. So this makes it where Vlad can't take a knockout right now. 20, 40, 60, 1, okay, hold on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah, he's going to do 120 damage, it looks like right now, which does knock out the Lurantis, and it allows him to, well, it doesn't allow him to two-shot it immediately. He does 120 and then minus 30 for 90, plus another 120, actually that is a knockout. So yeah, if he were to double Dark Pulse, he could take a knockout in 2 turns. Alright, so we see Olympia for Vlad, okay. He could just like start Oblivioing, get a bunch of energies in the field, and that's not a bad idea. He only has 1 dark energy in the discard pile, so he can only Oblivioing for 1 turn, and where does he put this dark energy in his hand? Probably on the Darkrai with 1 energy, that's not a bad idea. So yeah, Salamis coming down, that's a good idea to attach this dark energy to. It's not going to get knocked out. And we might see an N. Going to show both players' hand. Vlad's going to get 3, and Zach's going to get 4 new cards. And we're going to see what can they find here. Can Vlad... I mean, he's pretty good to go. He just needs a Blue Wing, do 30 damage, get some more energy in the field, and the next turn find a double dragon. Start, doing some extra damage that way. And, alright, so here we go. Both players are going to find some new cards. We see Vlad hitting 3 item cards, and we'll see it Believing for 30 damage. Getting a Dark Energy on that bench, Darkrai EX. Alright, so on Zach's turn, he can, he can just Solar Blade for 120, heal the damage off the bench Lurantis. We see a Sycamore, discarding his hand, draw 7 new cards. What he really needs to find is a Fomantis and a Lurantis. That is the 2 things he needs to find right now. Alright, because he still has the 4 Giant Plants into play, he can get his Grass Pokemon out the same turn he puts it down. Okay. Zach's going to look through his discard pile and see, what options do I have in here? How many grass energies have I played? That could be a thing that he has to start worried about. He does have 1 in his hand, and we'll see a Solar Blade for 120, okay. And Vlad's just going to hit another energy and go to Oblivioing, but I don't think there's any dark energies in his discard pile. Yeah, there's no dark energies in that discard pile. There's a double dragon in there, which does not get you out with the Dark Pulse, and on Zach's turn, does he find another Fomantis? That's the big question. So we see another Chloroscythe for knockout, going on the 3 prize cards. Vlad will promote that Darkrai with the 2 energies with no damage. That's what you definitely do here. It's not any danger for being knocked out. Zach's already used his GX attack, so he can't use it. And we see Vlad hit an N, and we'll see it give both players new hands of 3. Now Vlad needs to find a double dragon. If he does, he'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He'll do 180 damage. Not enough for a knockout, but definitely put a lot of pressure on Zach's side of the field. So let's see. And there's a double dragon going to Vlad's hand. We'll see it going down to the Salamence. And man, you got to start thinking this many dark energies on the field. All of a sudden, it's got bonus 40 damage thanks to the double dragon. And we'll see 180 damage coming out to play. On to Zach's turn. Oh man, what can he do? He can Solar Blade for the knockout, sure. Or not for the knockout from 120. But then how do you follow up a knockout? I mean, Sceptile doesn't really knock it out. There's a Shaman going to set up for 4 new cards. I think that's what it is. He finds it for Mantis, Grass Energy, okay. But it is going to take 3 turns to power up this guy. And we see Sycamore discard his hand, draw 7 new cards. Does he find a Lurantis? And he is very close to decking out as well. You see Vlad looking at that like, oh man, you're almost out of here. But what can Zach do? He's going to do 120 damage, heal 30, but that 30 damage is not going to matter. We'll see a Dark Pulse for the knockout doing 190 damage again. And I mean, what do you do now? I mean, Vlad has 1 prize card going to send the Sceptile, but that Sceptile is just going to get one-shotted, and we'll see a Grass Energy going to bench Lurantis, and we're going to see a coin flip here for Sleep. That is that's what we're going to see. All right, actually, wait, hold on. It takes a knockout. I don't even know what Sceptile does. I know its first tag does A sleep flip. Hold on, guys. I forgot what Sceptile does. Sorry, don't hate me. I forgot. I thought Sceptile only did like 50 damage. But we'll see Solomon's coming up with the Beastly Fang. Okay, right now Beastly Fang is on doing 110. All right. Okay, so I'll pull up Sceptile. Here we go. Sleep Poison does 10, and Unseen Call does 60, which I guess that did hit a knockout. 120 plus 60 is enough for a knockout. So we see Darkrai going to active, and we see Sycamore discard his hand, drawing 7 new cards. Alrighty, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright, so on the last turn, he could Beastly Fang for 110. And then Zach will have to go for a Sleep Poison, trying to put the Salamence to sleep. I think that's the best option you have here. You could turn to Lurantis and swing for 120. He could go for that, but he needs to find a Grass Energy and Solar Blade. Alright, so what does Zach have? Does he have a way to Solar Blade this turn? If he does, he can put a lot of pressure on Vlad for sure. This is a very, very close game. We see Vlad does have Olympia in his hand. I don't think the Olympia matters too much if Zach goes for the Lurantis play. Zach will have to have a Lysander, bring up that bench Sceptile with 130 damage on it. And does Zach have another Energy Guard? He's already played a ton. His option looks like he might have to go for this Sleep Flip. Maybe we'll see. Sceptile does have, what is it? Sleep Poison 10. Flip a coin of heads. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now asleep and poison. And yeah, if he flips heads, his opponent gets to flip a coin again. And if that's heads, well then he wakes up. So we're gonna see. Does he go for a Sleep Poison? Does he find a way to retreat and attack the turn? We see Olympia going to go into the Lurantis. All right. Does he have a Grass Energy? I don't think he does. Okay, no, we're going to see a Flower Supply do 40. Put 2 Grass Energies on the active, and you got to think that's going to be game here. I mean, Vlad can, he's got a, I don't know how he Fury Battle. Oh, he hacks in Fury Battle and Escape Rope, and now it will take the game. He had a Hex Maniac plus Escape Rope. As you see, Vlad does. Is that a second Hex? I'm pretty sure that's a second Hex. And we see Vlad take the game. He's not put the Fighting Fury Battle down early. He was like, oh, I got this. Oh, I'm good to go. I got a Hex Maniac plus Escape Rope. Can knock out anybody on your bench. And there we go. Vlad taking down the Lurantis Vileplume with his Darkrai Dragon's deck. But guys, hope you enjoyed round number 1 of the Hendersonville League Cup. Like I said, we got 5 rounds, and then when we go to top 8, we have two recordings of top 8, 2 recordings of top 4, and the final. So we have a pack League Cup here going on, guys. But hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Hit that subscribe button, and let's get ready to watch a ton of League Cups, and hopefully we'll find some interesting matchups and see what's going to happen, guys. But thanks for watching. Have a great day. Alrighty, bye. Alright guys, I just want to give a quick shout out to our 3 sponsors, 60 Cards, Yeti Gaming, and the Pokemon Company International. Links to everything will be down below in the description. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Alrighty.